Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. I'm Lucas Chong from Select Property, UK developer. I'm the Senior Business Development Manager, taking care of the Southeast Asia market. And for those who have been following our webinar, thank you for joining us again. And for those who are new to this one, this webinar, we will look in more detail on a specific area, Northern Quarter, as well as the recent rental market of Manchester. So if you have been pondering whether it is a good time to invest in Manchester, or if you are just starting to look out of ideas where to invest within Manchester, this webinar would be helpful to you. So the topic of the webinar today essentially is a deeper look into the Northern Quarter and also updates on the Manchester rental market. And to look at the agenda today, what we will cover, we'll start off by looking at the latest rental market updates for Manchester. So what has been happening in the Manchester rental market currently, as well as some real life cases of rental, as well as resale and reassignment to show you the actual capital growth achieved in central Manchester. And we'll look at the zoning of Manchester City Centre, for those who are not too familiar with the Manchester location, this would give you an idea of what area would cover what sentiments and which area would be having the best potential suited to your investment needs. And why Northern Quarter as an area is a focus of global investor, as well as why is One Port Street a great development to capitalize on. And last but not least, for those who are interested, we've got webinar exclusive offer for those who are considering to hop onto the growth of Manchester at this timing. Now, I believe for those who have been following the Manchester rental market, or if you own a property in central Manchester, you would know that the rental has been growing well despite Brexit in the past, and despite the sort of wars which are happening in the past year or so. Manchester has proven to be a very stable market and resistant market, I would say, both in terms of rental growth as well as capital gain, and fundamentally because this is driven and supported by the lack of supply in the market, which is why the market has been so strong and why so many investors, both in the UK and outside of UK, has been choosing Manchester as a city to invest as opposed to many other cities within the UK. Now, if we are looking at the Urban Bubble Report, this is based on August 2023. Some of the highlights worth to mention is that rental in Manchester once again has surged across all apartment types following a brief cooling off period early in this year. So in fact, 1 and 2 bedroom apartments in Manchester saw a 6% growth in just 3 months' time. 1 bedroom rental, if we are being more precise, have increased by 15% annually. So your year-on-year rental growth has increased by 15% on average annually. 2-bed rental have increased by 9% annually, and 3-bed rental has increased by 7% annually. And that is a very healthy yearly growth. Don't you agree, for those who owned investment properties worldwide? And August 2023 saw a number of available apartments 67% higher than August 2022, which is a year back, but down 9% on 2021 and substantial 70% below year 2020. So you can see, despite the micro fluctuation within the year, overall, the growth has been very significant. And if you compare it to other cities within UK, this is a very stable and good growth within Manchester. And worth to mention, we had a development that was handed over just within July, August, September as well. And the rental has been very speedy. And, my clients, if you have been following me from day one to now, have been very happy, achieving very good rental yield up to 8%. and also the speed of the apartment being rented on key handover has been very promising. If you look at the findings above on actual cases here, traditionally the expected gross rental yield in central Manchester has been 6%, and the market has been achieving 6% gross rental yield. And this year, we have seen most apartments achieving between 7, 8, or even more in gross return because of the surge of the rental rate within the market. And of course, there are also examples of our completed apartments in Affinity Living, as well as the Blade, that has been achieving amazing rental rate as well. So the insight on the number of bedrooms in Manchester Central Market. Now, 2 bedrooms now make up to 64% apartments in the Central Manchester market, and 1 bed makes up to 24%. And studios are still at their lowest level record at 1.8%. So a good question that I've been asked many times is that for investment, what sort of apartment types would be most ideal? And for the mass market, I would say 2 bedroom has the highest demand for the mass market, and 1 bedroom is catching up as well. So we have seen 1 bedroom achieving a good rental yield, speedy rental as well, but 2 bedrooms still caters to the mass market because in many locations it is close to schools, it is close to universities. So 2 bedrooms are always more flexible for young families or even for singles who are looking to co-rent as well. And diving into the case study for rental achieved in Elizabeth Tower, and this is an apartment that has been completed for about 3 years now. In year 2021. So this will be a prime example to see the actual growth that's happening in the rental achieved. So taking on a 1 bedroom to look at, for example, a 1 bedroom back in year 2021, when the building was just completed, it is fetching between £1,000 to £1,001 per month. And back then, this is already a very good rental based on the market value of many other developments in the city. And in year 2022, we see an average growth where 1 bedroom are then achieving about 1,002 to 1,003 per month. And looking forward to now on rental renewal, a 1 bedroom is now achieving 1,003 to 1,005 per month on average. And when we speak on average, it is the average rental rate because we do see many 1 bedroom apartments, say on a higher floor, they are achieving between 1,006 to 1,008 even per month. So this is achieving between a growth of 7 to 8% gross rental. And how amazing is that? Because in many property cases across different cities of UK or even cities outside of UK, 8% growth is a very healthy return for your investment. So all in all, we are looking at average on year-on-year rental growth of 10%, which is in line with all the reports collected across central Manchester. So if you're looking for an investment, that is growing well at conservatively 10% per year, achieving 8% rental yield, Manchester might be the city that you might want to dive into, study in, and to consider to invest your capital. And if you're looking at the average sort of rental rate achieved as of 2023, as we mentioned earlier, 1 bedroom is fetching between 1,003 to 1,005 pounds per month, and 2 bedroom is fetching about 1,007 to 1,009 per month on average. And a 2 bedroom luxe, and these are larger 2 bedrooms, are fetching upwards of £2,000 per month. So gross rental yield in the market is 6%. And for this year updated, we've seen a lot are achieving 7 to 8% or even more in rental yield. And apart from rental yield, we are also looking for capital growth. So depending on what is more important to you, if your philosophy in property investing is the growth of your capital, let's look at what is happening in the market currently. And these are reassignments or resale transactions done very recently in year 2023. Apartment A, a 2-bedroom, is fetching 8% in growth in capital gain in just 1 year holding. And apartment B, also a 2-bedroom in another tower, is fetching 9.4% capital gain in 1 year's holding. And we can see a 1-bedroom here fetching close to 12% in growth. And this is just in 1 year holding. And we are talking about 1 year's holding of between 8 to 12% growth. And how amazing is that? So investors are fetching about 40% return on investment with just a 25 to 30% down payment, as these are reassignments sold before key handover, or per se TOP. And if this is something that would fit into your risk appetite or your investment goal, these are very solid data on actual cases that you can refer to. And without further ado, let's look into Northern Quarter. Now, for those who are not familiar, Northern Quarter is an area within Eastern Central Manchester, and it is currently the location of focus for many global investors. With Manchester, as we know, the city has been growing well consistently. In fact, the top performing cities consistently for the past 5 to 6 years now. So certain areas would have been more matured by now as comparing to another area. So with investment, what we always believe is that to enter when the area is still emerging, so you can capitalize on the maximize or the most optimum growth as that area is being developed by the council or by the developers in that manner. So at this timing, if you are considering to invest, Northern Quarter is a highlight of the location. So we'll look at why are global investors fixing their eyes on the Northern Quarter, and what are the sentiments of Northern Quarter, what's happening in this area. What is the upcoming master plan within Northern Quarter, as these are always a very strong driving force to the surroundings, to the infrastructure, to the transport improvement, which in essence drive the demand for your rental and the value of your property. And of course, why is now a good time to capitalize on the growth of Northern Quarter. So we'll share with you all this in detail for your information. And with Northern Quarter, similar to Manchester as a city, it used to be a very industrial area. And it has now become a completely different area now. It is called the street art capital of the city of Manchester, oftentimes compared to Shoreditch, Brooklyn, or West Hollywood. So when you're in Northern Quarter, I would say in a recent 3 to 4 years' time, you would have witnessed a transformation of Northern Quarter as an area. So if you're walking along the streets of Northern Quarter, you can see a lot of very trendy bars and cafes, very quirky restaurants as well, a lot of wall arts in the area. So this is a very artsy area of Manchester as a city. And like many cities or countries that that is inexistent, these areas are typically the new area to be. So many young tenants or even professionals would then want to live in such area to complement their lifestyle as well. So these are some of the images that we've taken on Northern Quarter, and it is really a compliment on not just lifestyle and arts value, but also if you look at the location, it is so close to the shopping centers, it is so close to the main central business district, to transport, to groceries, to infrastructures as well, and surrounded by master plans, which is emerging, and which is why Northern Quarter is such a fast-growing area that many investors are tapping into the growth at these early days. So for many years, for those who are familiar with Manchester, Northern Quarter is described as up and coming, and it is now happening. It is here and now. It is here happening now, I would say. So Northern Quarter is Manchester's world-renowned creative center. So buzzing with character, rooted in its industrial past. And if you look at the effort of Northern Quarter, it is driven to create a hub on its own. Yeah, so Northern Quarter is becoming a hub in central Manchester, complemented by the various master plan here. and it is now known as the street art capital of the city. And this is Manchester version of Shoreditch, Brooklyn, or West Hollywood. And it is currently a lively neighborhood of cultural, creative, and digital innovation. There's a lot of media, arts and culture, and digital tech companies within this area that complements and drive the rental demand and the overall demand of this area within central Manchester, which is Zone 1 Manchester. And perhaps it's easier to imagine the locality of it based on this map here. So for those who are new to Manchester, the zoning of Manchester is by the ring road. So if you see the yellow ring road, anything within is Zone 1 Manchester, and anything beyond will be Zone 2, where we have Zone 3 as well. Now, Zone 3 are more to local houses, landed houses, which with less demand for rental, where Zone 1 is the area that has been boosted and driven by various master plans. This is also the core regeneration areas that the government has been focusing on. So to achieve 7-8% gross rental yield, it is within Zone 1 Manchester that we are looking at. And with select property, our developments, which you can see on this map here, these are our developments that has been completed, including residentials and city suites hotels as well. And these are all performing very well within Zone 1 Manchester. And going through, if you look at 1 Port Street highlighted here, now this is the location of our latest launch, 1 Port Street, which is located in Northern Quarter. And the beauty of this location is that this is a very central location with the postcode of M1. So it is a very rare postcode. So if you look at select property, all the buildings that we've built are carefully sought after. And why we chose to build in this location, because for Northern Quarter, it is extremely difficult to secure a land here. And the reason why we chose to build into Northern Quarter is really because of the potential it brings to the market, similar to all our past developments, which has been performing very well, depending on the timing of entrance. So Northern Quarter, if you look at this, this is only a 10 minutes walk to the main shopping district, which is the Arnsdale Shopping Center. So this is where all the big brands are at, your Prada, your Rolexes, similar to Orchard area in Singapore, I would say. So this is only a brief 10 minutes walk to this area from 1 Port Street, your property. And of course, this is also just about 5 minutes walk to the nearest tram station, Piccadilly Gardens tram station. And tram station is where most residences in central Manchester would travel by. So this travels on the road. Tram is very different from train station, which is similar to the MRT in Singapore, I would say. The closest MRT is the main train station, Piccadilly train station, and this is the main intercity train station in Manchester. And this is only about 9 minutes walk away from 1 Port Street. So imagine how convenient and how prime the location is. And for Piccadilly train station, this is connecting you to also to other cities, sort of going to Birmingham, to London, to Leeds, cities outside of UK. And this is a transport hub of Manchester. And if you look at the surroundings of a Piccadilly train station, it is already a very buzzing area with shopping centers, with amenities, with restaurants, with famous markets as well. And these are all the infrastructure that surrounds your property, which is 1 Port Street. Yeah. So if you look at 1 Port Street, it is close to shopping amenities. It is also close to commercial area. We've got 2 commercial areas surrounding it. One would be the Encoats Garden, and the other would be the main CBD area, Spinningsfield. And this is only about 10-15 minutes away. And 1 Port Street is only 5 minutes away to the upcoming master plan, the Central Retail Park, which is a 1 million square feet of new commercial space that will sustain the demand for your rentability of your property. So if investment is always depending on the location, the future growth, how sustainable it is, and as well as the design and how the property is being run as well. And here we have showing some of the actual pictures we've taken when we're in the northern quarter back in June this year. You can see how the surrounding is like to just get a feel of what northern quarter is like. So a lot of wall arts as well, a lot of trendy cafes and bars. And on our bottom, this is a very famous food market, which is along the way of One Port Street to the shopping district. And the famous Manchester Bee, which renowned the hardworking culture of people in Manchester, is nearby as well. We've got a river nearby, as well as the surroundings, which is why it is known as the street art capital of Manchester. And without further ado, let's look into the details of One Port Street, the development, the landmark development in central Manchester. Now, One Port Street was launched on 14 February earlier this year, and currently we are 75% sold to that. We've just released a few new floors on low, mid, and high floor as well. So for those who are keen, there's good options of apartments to look at. But One Port Street is the flagship development of our Prestige collection. Now, we noticed that there is a gap in the Manchester market for more Prestige apartments targeting the executive tenants. And in fact, 8% rent achieved in the market for recently completed building, the Blade 360, are also of more premium quality. So the demand and the pattern of rental are driving towards that direction, which is why we've carefully sought after the location as well as the concept of One Port Street. Now, Prestige Collection offers residents a choice of privacy and community, and it also offers amenities of a luxury hotel, as well as a private members club as well. So these ticks all the boxes what the market is craving for. And if you look at what is upcoming in the Manchester market as well, a lot of new developments are also surrounding this concept, where we can see Manchester is growing more towards that London, and it is at a point where we start to see more luxurious apartments popping up. So to enter at this point of time, which is a very early stage of this market, it is a great opportunity for good growth here. Later on, I'll share with you the per square feet price within central Manchester, which has increased significantly over the years as well. And One Port Street is still at the very competitive pricing point as compared to what is upcoming in the market. So going back to the essence of Prestige Collection, now looking at these, the key pillars of Prestige Collection, first of all developments under the Prestige Collection would be of modern design and architecture. So every building within the Prestige Collection will have the premium experience of a boutique hotel, from the design and architecture through the materials and finishes, as well as the experience of the tenants, because the experience of the tenants or residents would be what determine the rebooking rates for sustainability. And for Prestige Collection, all buildings would be located at desirable locations, centrally located, close to amazing amenities and transport. Well-being, this is creating spaces and environments to enhance the tenants' well-being, from leisure suites with luxury spa, pool, gyms, and green color outdoor spaces. Amenities are designed to redefine work-life balance. Lounge and lobby areas combine casual seating and private booths to create a calm atmosphere of working, relaxing, and socializing. So we do target on the little details which made our development so successful over time. We create environment also that create choice for our residents, whether they would want a private space, enjoy some privacy, or the opportunity to socialize in a very community setting. And of course, sitting within Northern Quarter, we focus a lot on sustainability, which is what today's sentiment is all about. So we strive to reach the industry standards and work with reputable partners to deliver a sustainable development, as well as meeting social and economic needs for each of our developments. And last but not least, premium end-to-end experience. We treat the residents within One Port Street not like a tenant, but more like a guest in a hotel, so that they would be happy to continue renting. Happy tenants will always mean happy landlords, in this case, which is your property. And this is an image of One Port Street standing at 32-story tall, and this is at 999 years leasehold, a very rare tenure in the UK. And we have got two smaller towers connecting to it, which is up to level 7 and level 12. Our Paganini Lounge, rooftop lounge, sits on level 7. Amenities sits on the ground level as well as level 7. And each floor would be consisting of then residential apartments. Completion of TOP is in Q4 December 2025. This is of 477 apartments, which is 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, and 3 bedroom, standing at 32-story talls. Most apartments are offering a very great view of city center or shopping district, or Encores Garden, or the courtyard. And this is also announced as a landmark destination by the architect Simpson Hoff. Hoff family has been very well renowned in the market. Developed and managed by Select Property as UK's leading developer. And this is part and flagship of Prestige Collection. As usual, Select Property work with Tier 1 partners. Architect would be from Simpson Hoff, and our contractor would be Renneker, which is always very speedy in building developments. And if you look at Simpson Hoff, they have been building most landmark in Manchester, including the Beetham Tower, which has been a long-standing landmark. The Urbis, number 1 Spinningfield, which is the main office area within the central business district. Number 1 Deansgate as well, Great Northern Warehouse, as well as the Great Jackson Framework, consisting of Elizabeth Tower, Victoria Residence, the Blade in 360. And the Hall family has firmly stated that One Port Street would be the next landmark development in East Central Manchester, where Northern Quarter sits at. And with Northern Quarter, one of the very main driving force and why many investors are going into this development is because of its master plan. Now, as we mentioned earlier, 5-6 minutes walk away is Central Retail Park. Now, Central Retail Park is a newly approved master plan, and this consists of 1 million square feet of new commercial area, which is developing as we speak now. So this consists mainly of offices, larger offices catering to media, tech company, but also contains other infrastructure such as medical centers, schools, leisure area as well. So this is a very sustainable blueprint on its own. And if you look at Central Retail Park, it is a vision for 10.5 acre site to become an exemplary net zero carbon commercial district, offering 10,000 new jobs from the 1 million square feet commercial space. And this is targeting the technology, media, and telecom sector. The council are currently putting in place a delivery strategy to bring the site forward with a development partner who can realize their vision. And if you look at in more detail of the position, One Port Street is located just beside it. So it's about a 5 minutes walk away to this Central Retail Park. And taking a deeper look into what's happening in Central Retail Park, as you can see, most plots here are meant for commercial towers. We do have plots designated for leisure, public space, medical center, schools and car park, sports and play area, as well as a Great Encores Street here as well. So you can see this is a very sustainable area on its own, which will drive demand towards this area and benefit the surrounding buildings around it. And going back to One Port Street, One Port Street consists of 154 apartments of one bedroom, 310 two-bedroom, 3 apartments of two-bedroom duplex, and 10 apartments of three-bedroom. For investment, I would say one bedroom and two-bedroom would cater well to the mass market. We've got a good array of apartments having different facings and sizes for you to choose from. And in terms of amenities, this is one of the very few developments in Manchester with comprehensive amenities, including a hotel-style grand lobby and a 360 real fire pit, a premium F&B outlet on the ground floor, an urban garden, a courtyard with ambient lighting and heated sitting areas, a cutting-edge swimming pool and spa pool with skylight windows, and 7th floor club lounge. This is called the Paganini Lounge, a city retreat for residents. And of course, we've got our luxury co-working space with private booth, resident lounge and reading area, private dining areas reimagined. Not forgetting state-of-the-art gymnasium, as well as a separate fitness studio and residence parking available to be purchased for certain apartments. Here we are looking at the floor plan of the amenities. So amenities are located on ground level, the entrance level, as well as level 7. And currently we are looking at the ground floor. On your 12 o'clock, we are looking at the entrance to the tower, and where you'll be greeted by a hotel-style grand lobby, as well as a real fire pit. And on your left, you've got your F&B outlet, where you can purchase your food and drinks here. And going forward, you've got your luxury co-working space, and then bringing you towards our state-of-the-art full gymnasium, as well as a separate fitness studio. The lift to the residence apartments are then on your right side. And moving further to your left side, you've got your private meeting booth along the hallway, and this hallway will lead you to the swimming pool on basement 1. And in the middle of the 3 towers are large courtyards with ambient lighting and heated seatings, supporting our greeneries target for this building. And courtyards are also very well appreciated in buildings within Manchester. And going to 7th floor, now 7th floor consists partially of residential units and then partially of amenities. And here we have the amenities, which consist of the private dining space, and these are available for first come, first serve booking by the residents. We've got our resident lounge and reading area, more co-working space, and this will then lead you outside to our Paganini rooftop lounge. And this is a dry bar, which is designed to cater for everyone throughout different seasons of the whole year. Apartment prices and sizes. For one bedroom, we are looking at starting from 300,000 to 350,000 pounds for size of 500 to 571 square feet. And two bedroom of 390,000 to 520,000 from 700 to 1,002 square feet. And the average per square feet price here is around about 600 per square feet. For this range of apartment, this is on market value. If you look at the previous average per square feet price in the market, not including the premium branding of it, we are looking at between 450 to 500 per square feet. However, if you look at the upcoming or some existing new launches in the market, we are looking at 600 up to 800 per square feet for location which may not be as prime as M1. So the market has been adapting to growth as well. And of course, looking at the bigger picture, we are at the turning point here where Manchester is transforming into a London of the northern city. And this is a good point to enter to capitalize on the growth of the city in the coming years. On residential units, we are looking at a typical floor plan here, and this consists of 12 apartments per floor. We've got 4 one-bedroom apartments, which is apartment 10, 11 facing the shopping district, and apartment 5 and 4 facing the Piccadilly Basin. And we've got 2-bedroom apartments facing the city center, as well as the Encores area, 4 corner apartments. And for those who are keen to find out more, do get in touch. We'll show you in more detail on our virtual tours, as well as the layout of the apartments and view. This is a construction update as of August, and as you can see, we are very much on track. So the groundwork has started very well, very much on time for year 2025 completion. And once the piling and groundwork is done up, the construction per floor will be very speedy for those who have had experience with us. These are the aspect kit views on different views. This is based on level 31. We've got apartments facing Encos, which is a open view. Piccadilly Basin. City Center will be facing the main central business district, as well as Northern Quarter, which is facing the shopping center. Now, this is the only high-rise building in Northern Quarter, so you would have quite an open view for most of the facings here. Payment plan for one portrait is £5,000 reservation fee, and for one bedroom is a down payment of 30%, with balance 70% minus 5,000 deposit paid due on completion. As for two bedroom, it is 25% down payment and balance 75% minus 5,000 deposit due on completion in year 2025. So your initial capital sum would be 25 or 30% depending on unit type. That would equal to approximately, typically within £100,000 for most apartments. And for those who wants to know in more detail, the purchasing cost, the payment timeline, the solicitor fee, the estimated stamp duty, do get in touch after we can work out a very comprehensive numbers for you to refer to on selected apartment types, where you can then consider in more detail from there. And that will bring us to the end of the webinar. And as a summary, why One Port Street again? First of all, with property is always about location. Incredibly limited land supply in Northern Quarter. Very hard for us to secure a land here. And Northern Quarter is the up and coming area now. And also this is the only development in Northern Quarter with a swimming pool and a club lounge. First development in Manchester to balance 5-star quality and a warm community. And Manchester's rental market performance and future growth projections has been great and are expected to grow tremendously in years to come. And Northern Quarter is also voted one of the coolest neighborhoods in the world by Time Out Magazine 2022. Some images here on One Port Street for you to have a look at. This is the exterior facade of One Port Street, very full glass windows, a high-rise building. This would be a closer look at the main tower, standing up to level 32. This will be a view from 7th floor Paganini Lounge, the dry bar, and this is then designed for different seasons of the year. This is the Grand Hotel style lobby as you enter your property, surrounded by a 360 rear fire pit. This is the swimming pool located on basement 1 with skylight and natural daylight. This is your lounge area, resident lounge area and co-working space. And this is an internal of an apartment. This is a corner apartment, a 2-bedroom. This is another room looking out to the city center. Your full-scale gymnasium here. Right, and that will be the end of our webinar. And for those who are keen to find out more, do have a chat with us. We'll be in contact with you in the next few days. If you've got any questions with regards to Manchester market, to One Port Street, if you are just considering, feel free to have a chat with us. We're always here to help you long term. We've got webinar exclusive offer as well for those who are keen. Do reach out and then we can then share more with you. Now, thank you so much for your time. Once again, I'm Lucas Chong from Select Property, and I hope to hear from you soon. Thank you. Have a good evening.